All right, welcome. This is our first Q&A. We get a lot of questions on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and in this video we will answer them for you.
So the first question is from OMG, it's Esme. Thanks. So do you eat special things while cycling? Burak, Chivapi, pieskavica?
I actually eat a lot of special things, mostly hamburgers for breakfast, you know, with French fries. This morning I had chicken and French fries for breakfast. So that are mostly the weird things, but it's here very common because the hamburger shop was full of people. But
sometimes we just fix that we get some extra protein, because if you have too less protein, your muscles will crash. So yeah, sometimes it's a protein shake, but mostly it's just a lot of meat because that's normal in these countries. So we got another question from Jessica Stipje. Jessica Stipje. She says, after cycling such a long distance, have you guys seen any change in body strength? Whew. Yes, before this I went to the gym, so then I had some strength in my body.
You actually only go weaker and weaker.
Like then I did not have the leg days, you know? I always skip the leg day, and now it's leg day only. So I have, yeah, really strong legs now. That's really cool. But the rest of my body just fell off.
I only gained weight. Like last time I looked in the mirror, I was like, am I getting a beer belly or something? You know, wow, we cycle a lot, but the only thing that really grows in strength are my legs.
And then we got a question from Project Daniel. What is the most valuable lesson you've learned so far?
Whew. Don't judge. It seems like something that you can come up yourself, you know, and maybe a lot of people say this, don't judge. But in the end, it's really hard to not judge. But yeah, I think that's the most valuable lesson. Like every time I'm amazed by how people are in comparison to what I thought of them before.
I think my valuable lesson is that you can get used to every kind of situation. So even though the cycling in the beginning was a bit weird every day, it was tough and stuff. After a month, you're just like, oh, I'm cycling every day. That's my new lifestyle. So it starts to feel normal. So everything starts to feel normal if you try it long enough.
That's actually very good. That's actually very funny because usually you think like, no, but I have my normal life and I just go to college and I go out in the weekend and I just go to my parents every week, you know, and that feels normal. But right now, like, I can't even imagine a different life than cycling and traveling around in this way. So yeah, you get used to it very easily, actually.
Then we get a question from leafs.d. How are you going to do it when you travel through Iraq? We're not going to travel to Iraq, also not through Syria. We're going to go like through Turkey, Georgia, Armenia, Iran, maybe Pakistan, and then we reach India. Iran will be okay for us. It's just you need a visa and people seem to be really nice over there. But Pakistan is kind of this conflict area where we can't go through safely. So we heard people, they went through Pakistan with a military cordon. Yeah, you can imagine that's not a lot of fun if you're just cycling and hoping to meet people. So we're thinking about going around this country with a boat or something.
A military cordon would not really, you know, fit the picture of Journey of Connection.
Once you get out of Europe, things gonna be different, so we have to see how it's there, you know, but mostly it's just the news that's really making a bad image about the country, and if you're there, you don't feel a lot about the political situation, you just see the people and you meet friends and you get in contact with them, so it feels way more welcoming than all the news about Iran, because I know it's not that positive, but that doesn't really hold us back from going there. How much did this trip cost so far? It's a question from Jan Vlak. And I understand the question and it's really funny. When we left the Netherlands and in Germany, it was really cold, as you have seen. So it wasn't really an option to sleep in the tent all the time. So we had to rent a lot of Airbnbs and stuff, which is a lot of money and which is definitely the highest cost spent in our trip. But after that, we only, after the Alps, we only slept in the tent, and just sometimes, like once a week or something, we sleep in an Airbnb or in a hotel or whatever. But from Eastern Europe, it's way cheaper. So it's like 10 euros each night instead of 30 euros each night. So let's say now I think we spend around 300-400 euros a month in total. But before, this was, the first month was like 700-800 euros, I guess.
Well, it's more or less like, you know, the cycling doesn't really cost money, the sleeping doesn't really cost money, the washing ourselves in a river or something like that. It mostly just doesn't really cost a lot of money. The food here is really cheap. You can have like a burek for 50 cents. Beer here is like €1. A coffee 50 cents. Rakia, 50, 60 cents, sometimes 80 cents. Yesterday, €3. Okay, there you go, there you go. Okay, another tip I actually want to mention is sometimes I go to a supermarket because I can only eat meat and dough, bread dough and stuff like that because it feels just super unhealthy sometimes. So then I go to the supermarket and get some healthier food, but in the end I pay like twice or 3 times as much as I do with a regular meal around here. So the supermarket is more expensive, but it's more healthy. So you have to find your way around it and see what you want to do.
What is your schedule in terms of bicycling? Not cycling, but bicycling.
Bicycling.
How many kilometers each day on average and how many rest days? So that's the point, this really depends. When we went to Skopje, we did have 3 weeks without a rest day, 70 kilometers average a day. The idea in the beginning was to do 40 every day, like on average. So maybe 70 one day and the next day just a rest day. Now we are chilling out after Skopje, so now it's just really chilling out. I think on average we don't even reach the 30 now. We don't want to hold ourselves back when we're somewhere just to stay there, you know. If it's nice, if it's not nice, we go on.
First we had places where we had to go. So you're kind of like, well, not really in a hurry, but sometimes it felt like you were in a hurry. So you have to keep cycling and you can't really do a day without cycling because then the kilometers add up from that point. And right now I actually love this way of traveling where we can just like chill out a bit and if we want go out somewhere and then the next day just chill and meet some new people in the park or something. Yeah, and it actually makes it way more fun because like we do this cycling trip, but cycling is not the main part of our journey. It's mostly just laying the connections and meeting the different cultures and people. All the cyclists who follow us.
We
Fuck
got
these guys. We unfollow you. We thought you were all about cycling.
We got a question from M4DDDIN.
Can you do that again?
M4DDDIN. How did you get the idea to do this journey? So before this trip, I traveled for 1.5 years as a digital nomad. Which I liked, I did like it, but the times that I went to Thailand or something like to the really touristic areas, and I was there in the island, everything was paradise. You know, it was in this kind of sense perfect, but I just felt like, where are the Thai people? They were not there. So it was for me a weird kind of experience, and I feel that this journey for me is just to get more out of this adventurous lifestyle. So not just being somewhere enjoying the paradise, but really meeting the local people. In between, we come in places where never a tourist has been, you know? And you feel this about how the people react to you and how they interact with you. So I love just to meet local people, and that's my journey of connection.
This was for me the ultimate way to have this adventure, to just, actually what Mick said, to challenge yourself, but to also get to really know a culture, get to really know the people who live there and get to really see what the country is like instead of just going in some way, going somewhere which is not really a representation of the city.
How old are you guys and what are your backgrounds? So my background is that I lived already 1.5 years as a digital nomad, traveling by earning my money through online marketing, which was another question from him. Sometimes I make a website, sometimes I write articles. It's mostly about that, but it's always for Dutch clients, so it's just online, it's digital. I did 3 studies, did not finish them, quit everything, said goodbye to my girlfriend, and then I run away.
Well, first I also did like 2 studies and it didn't really work out, and I had a girlfriend and we lived together in some way, and yeah, it was just like the typical West lifestyle, you know, and just like you got it all figured out, you can make your parents proud, you know. well, didn't really feel right for me. So at one point I felt that I was not happy in that position. So I actually broke up with my girlfriend first. Then I called this dude and I said to him, yo man, I just broke up with my girlfriend. He said like, oh, okay. Oh, next week I'm going to Bulgaria. Do you want to come with me? And I'm like, oh yes, of course I want to come with you. Then I went to Bulgaria with him. We had actually a pretty good time. Then I saw like what the fuck he is all doing, you know? And then I thought like, oh, that's actually pretty cool. So maybe I can also have an online business. So why don't I just quit college and go work the shit out of myself, because I know I can do it. So then I quit college and started my own business, and which was actually videography in the Netherlands. But now I can't really make videos anymore. So now I do like some jobs here, you know, with writing articles or making a website, for example. And yeah, and then you end up here, you know, cycling to India, and actually gave everything up.
So as one of his questions was, how do you pay for the journey?
By working online. At one point I noticed that sometimes I just look at my bank account and I see like, oh, there's 50 euros extra. Oh, there's 100 euros extra. What is that? And then I see that there's like a family member or a friend from family. They just send me money with, yeah, good luck with your trip. Good luck with your adventure. We have like donators.
Which sounds a bit weird, of course, but the point is like we have a lot of time that we spend on editing a video.
25, 30 hours per week.
It's a lot of time that goes in there. So in the end, we try to work for the money as less as possible and work as much as possible for things that are really valuable for us, like the YouTube channel. I'm writing a book right now, which is not giving me any money, but it's something that you do for the future and that you do to try to share your message, you know, and to really get something done instead of just working for the money. So that's why we sometimes get a donation. It's actually, yeah, I really appreciate it. It's really cool. I did not expect in the beginning of the journey that people would even think about donating to us, but it's a really cool thing because it keeps us running. So we got a last question from X Allrounder X.
X Allrounder X.
Yeah, that's a big friend. That's a big friend.
Really, dude? Thanks for your feedback. I just love if somebody just has feedback on videos or something like that, so we can improve ourselves. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Peace out.
Would you have started this journey if you were alone?
No.
No. What are you afraid of in the next phases of your journey? At first I was afraid of being hit by a landmine or getting followed by bears, and I'm afraid I will never meet a beautiful girl in my life.
That serious? Well, afraid. At first, not really, because usually when I just step into things, you just do it. But at one point, you start to notice like, oh shit, there are landmines. Oh shit, there's a conflict over there. Oh shit, a psychopath follows us, you know? Oh shit, somebody talks about bears and boars, and I have more fears than before, but you also get used to them in some way, because you just have the feeling like, oh yeah, but it just can't happen, you know? It's not really that I'm like, oh, I'm so fucking scared, get into the tent, man, get into the tent. I don't want to walk here anymore. The only thing that I'm kind of afraid of is like in countries like in the Far East, you know, where you can be kidnapped or can be shot or something like that, yeah, that's just a different situation than here.
Where do you pay taxes? We pay taxes in the Netherlands. We earn like 300-400 euros a month. I don't think taxes are really interested in us. X Allrounder X also says that he wants to do something that's like our journey. I really like that, and I hope that this video series really gets you inspired and gets you going in a way that you feel like, yes, we can all do this. And don't worry about taxes, insurance, and about all the rules, because rules aren't set up to create a life full of adventure. Rules are set up to keep you in the system. So if you want to explore, just forget about the rules for a moment, and afterwards you will see actually which rules you have broken and which were a problem or not. For example, it's not legal to wild camp in your tent everywhere where we go. Rules are there to be broken sometimes, and I would not really care about it anymore. And this makes it way easier to think for yourself outside of the boundaries. So thanks for watching our Q&A. I hope that it was inspiring in a way. Yeah, I just want to invite you to, if you have some other questions, to post them in the comment below, because we will do this more often to help you out with some questions or to just answer some questions about a journey.
Thank you for your questions, and I hope we just gave you some insights about how we do it and why we do it. And hope you will be a little bit inspired maybe by our story. And if you want to quit school, just quit school. Know what you're worth.
Yeah, enjoy life.
See you, bruh.